Hello, blessed soul family. I love you. Happy Love Day, Valentine's Day, whatever you want to call it, but I call it Love Day. You know, I was actually getting really excited about this reading because so many of us are very challenged in our romantic relationships, and I do not do a lot of love readings, although they do come up in readings. I don't specifically, I'm not that channel, but they do come up every so often. So I have the Love Island Wellness deck. I was so excited to use that. I was like, oh yay, I'm going to do a love reading because I knew I was doing a reading today. And then when I started putting it together, I was like, oh, I see what's happening. And it makes sense, right? Because, you know, all of us have our place and our purpose, right? And I'm sure, just like myself, you probably have, certain people that your go-to readers that do love readings or predominantly love readings. And sometimes when I'm watching them, I'm like, why isn't that my path? Like, why can't I just be filled with relationships all day? But the truth is, it's because I struggle myself. And a lot of light workers struggle with romantic relationships because a lot of us, we do great when we're in spirit form and we're in the spirit realm working as, spirit guides of all different kinds. But when we are in, it's different when you're in corporeal form, it's just like everything about us is, each one of us has our own path, right? So when we're in human form, we're living not just, whatever we came here to do, but we're also living the lineage of the blood and bone of the families that we're born into. So it's on many multiple, very deep levels. And it's one thing to be an observer and to maybe know and understand love as a concept in terms of where we come from. We come from love. We are love. Wherever we come from, whatever it is, it's love. You guys, this is so crazy. I have been up for hours and the termites are out again. So maybe some of you only watch some of these readings and that's why, because they have, especially on the picker readings lately, they've been so funny. Like they'll just be like, I'll do like 4 picker readings and they'll just show up on 1 or maybe 2, And if you don't know, I've had like this termite issue while I've been in a rebuild right now. And I was doing all these things to get rid of them. And Spirit was like, no, you want them. I'm like, why do I want them in my house? They're like, because they are eating away at like the yucky wood that you're going to rip out because we're, doing a remodel and it's a vintage RV. And so long story short, they are eating away at the icky stuff. Like, that's the kind of thing that Spirit wants us to understand, that like everything has a place, even if we don't understand it, even if we don't know why. We're not always meant to know everything, but they are about transformation, right? Like they're eating away at like the mold wood or they like the wet wood. And one of the leaks, that the only place they've been is in this one corner over here, and they're not super loud. I mean, I asked Spirit, I'm like, is there like a colony in there? Like this is, I mean, let's be honest. I'm like, I don't want anything crazy happening. But they were like, no. And I can tell it's not. I don't know what the story is, but I don't think there's more than 5 or 10 up there, maybe, which is, some people might be like, that's gross or that's crazy. And I'm like, no, because I work with all spirit animals and nothing's gross to me. I understand that they need love just like we do, right? They're actually doing a service right now. They're eating away at something that could potentially turn into mold or something harmful to me. So I feel like they're also here as a message to show us that, not everything that shows up in our life is icky or ew or, reminds me of, do you ever see the, when Jimmy Fallon does the ew? And he's had Taylor Swift and Ariana Grande on. Him and Ariana Grande are my favorite duo though. And they're like playing like these teenage girls that are at the, the preteen where they're like, everything's like, ew. Anyway, but I know that there was a place in time where I would have been like, ew, like why am I allowing this to happen? But because sometimes things have to go from our lives, and sometimes things have to happen, and maybe not in the perfect little box with the pretty bow on top that we think it's going to be. So also, I heard smoke 'em if you got 'em. When I looked down a few seconds ago, it was 4:20, so that's interesting. So anyway, it's also the number 6, and 6 is a big number for our tribe this year. So I am going to do a pick reading, but they wanted me to do this like little love yourself intro to introduce you to the deck and tell you that we are not going to be doing romantic readings, although it may come, they may show up in these readings, but these particular readings today are specifically about loving yourself. And as sad as it is, a lot of us don't even know how to. So this deck is literally going to show us how to love ourselves. So with that being said, also I have this other, one of our other tribe members has this deck called Miracles Now. And sometimes she would just send me like, she'll just like send me cards because they're really inspirational cards. It's not like it's like a deck. You know, same with this. Like, I could take cards from How to Love Yourself. You know what I mean? I could take cards from this and like send it to somebody and it would just, you know, be like a cute, you know, little inspirational, you know, like a little card or something. But these that I got from her, I've been using them for so many years that they've gotten quite ruffled. But anyway, I noticed when I was shuffling earlier that they're in there, and I don't know why after all these years I still forget, but I do. So whatever comes through is what's meant to come through. Okay. So I'm going to pull this away now because we've seen what this is, and we're going to start pulling some cards for the readings. Okay, Spirit. What is our main theme for reading 1? I believe they're only going to have me do like 1 card per, you know. Okay, so reading 1 is I was born to enjoy life. Okay, can I tell you that I'd already pulled the cards for these, but I kept getting this vibe that they wanted me to start over. But I love when I shuffle and shuffle and shuffle. And the one that was, I just remember this one because it was the first one. So I think that's interesting. It's also like a confirmation that Spirit's like, you're always going to show up. Like you're always going to get the message. Like things are always going to happen exactly when they're meant to. I feel like that's like a little intro to reading 1. I was born to enjoy life. There's more on the back, but I feel like that's all they want to show right now because there's going to be more cards per reading too. So that's reading 2 TOO like also. So let's see reading. Now we're on to reading 2, number 2. Okay, Spirit, number 2. Oh, these two look like little twinsies. What's going on there? Okay, so, all right. They want me to show this side of it, not the other side. Number 2 is I relax and enjoy life. I know that whatever I need to know is revealed to me in the perfect time and space sequence. Oh gosh, I know this is probably my medicine because I've been really struggling with this right now. By the way, you guys, I wore my hearts for us today. I made sure that I washed my cute little sweatshirt because I was like, I want to wear this sweatshirt today because it's got the little hearts on it. Okay, so now reading 3. What's the main theme for reading 3? There's a bunch of cards that want to come out. I had a feeling this was going to happen. That's why I introduced it. So Miracles Now, but they don't want me to show you. There is something on the back, but they don't want me to show you yet. So that's kind of interesting. Now, are we going to do a reading 4, Spirit? Do we have a reading 4? I think we're going to have a reading 4. Are we going to have a reading 4? Okay. Here we go. The moment I start to change, the moment I am willing to bring good into my life, the universe responds in kind. Wow, you guys, I just got so many messages from this card already. Like, literally, I felt like I just heard a bunch of people, like, talking and stuff. It was kind of intense. All right, also, I brought in my rainbow calcite because it reminds me of a heart. Well, I brought in all these, like, heart-inspired things for us today. You know, just to kind of, you know, we've got rose quartz and jade. Like I brought in the pinks and the greens and, you know, all the things that, you know, make us feel warm and fuzzy inside. Okay, so this is number 4. Now, I don't normally go for a 5, but there could be. So let me just see. Do we have a reading 5? No. I was like, I don't know. I'm like, that might be a little bit too far. I was like, I can fit it in the screen, Spirit. I can fit it. Okay, you guys. Ooh, and I looked down, it was 947, and they told me to write that down. So that's our angel number for today is 947. Okay, angel number. Okay. 947. And I'll put that in the description box. You guys, I always put my email address in there if you'd like to work with me one-on-one. I put links to any type of source that you'd like to contribute. Oh, hi, Mom. I just looked up and I saw, and Dad, I just saw my mom's birthday and my dad's wedding anniversary. Anyway, interesting. I don't know who that's for, but I saw 1012 and then I saw 1013. So I don't know who that's for, but also 1012 is 4 and 1013 is 5. So I don't know if that means anything to anybody either, but we are here to do some change and transformation today. I feel like they want me to take a picture, but I'm going to go in a little bit. Hold on. Okay. Because sometimes they have it like a certain way, you know, like they want it a certain way. Okay. So also, right before I started this, I think it's called ENEEERGY. It's like spiritual music, and the name of the song was called Heal the Earth. And the last thing they wanted me to say before we move on to your readings is that this isn't just about loving yourself. This is about loving yourself so that you can heal the earth, right? Because when you love yourself, you heal yourself, and by doing that, you heal the earth. Like, you know, like we've always said, if everybody loved themselves, there'd be no war. War only, like any type of war, greed, you know, all those things stem from lack. And it's lack of love. It's lack of acceptance. It's like there's all these different things, you know, it's different for everybody, but I'm definitely like getting this vibe from spirit that these readings are really important today, because if you found yourself on this channel, if you're new, welcome. And if you're coming back, welcome back. And thanks for all your support, you guys. I really do appreciate the donations and the prayers and all the things that you guys do for me, the messages, the support. Thank you. If I don't say it enough, I love myself today because of you guys. I healed and am who I am today because of you. I would have never gotten through this without all of you. So I just want you to know how much I love you, how much I appreciate you, how much I thank you. And I look forward to doing these readings with you today. But once we do this, you guys, once we really, really like love ourselves enough to stop the madness in our individual lives that are holding us back from our true bliss, our true happiness, our true love for self, it's like the whole, you guys, it's going to be like the domino effect. We can see it already. I don't know if you've heard this, but it's really true. Do you know that the algorithms are shifting? The algorithms are shifting. AI is not all bad, you guys. It's an energy. It's a very powerful energy, and it's just like any other form of free will. It can be wielded. But they want you to remember that you have something really important here to do. And I don't know why, but this is driving me crazy. And I don't know why. I feel like this wants to be like this for the cover photo. You know what I mean? Remember I said I feel like Spirit always does, like, it's like they know. They know what they, or what does she say? I know what they need, from Wicked. Okay. Thank you for sticking in there with me. I'm going to go down just a little bit. You know, I think they're having it this way because, because in real time, today obviously is the 14th of February, but in just a few days, we've got like, we're at the last few days of the shedding of the skin of the snake. Whenever you watch this, they're always timeless messages, but in real time, it makes sense that they would put this out, because a lot of you guys who are loyal followers and, you know, you've been with me in spirit, like on this journey for such a long time, like, you know, and you understand the vitality behind these messages. Like, you understand like what's happening on the planet right now. We are in the last few days of the wood snake. We're shedding that last bit of our skin that doesn't belong to us anymore. You guys, we are from the stars. We are not from this earth. We are blessed to be here, but Gaia is counting on us. She's counting on us to take care of her. She's counting on us to lead the way. I'm like, the lighting keeps changing and it looks so cool. So this is why I feel like we are really meant to like hone in on our energy, we can't look the other way anymore. Like it doesn't exist. Like we can't look the other way. There is no other way. We're moving forward. And wherever we come from as light workers and healers and deep down believers in magic, you know, we are leaders of some kind. If you found yourself on this channel, we are leaders of some kind, even if you're just the leader of like your tribe, right? Like your people, your family. So many of you guys, I know, like, you know, like you're like the sole matriarch of your family. Like everybody looks to you, or the patriarch, you know what I mean? Like that is part of your medicine. That is like what you are meant to do here. I feel like there is somebody here who is like super, super perfectionist. So I don't know if it's you guys or if it's a spirit guide, but they keep having me like, I feel, so you know what? With that being said, we're going to go further into these readings. I don't know how much time I have on my phone. So as usual, I always tell everybody, I'm like, if my phone runs out, I will finish it. Always look for the link. But I feel like right now, we know this, like if you've been here for a long time, you know, if not, go watch other readings. The spirit calls me to, I'll put links in the description box, but we've been doing readings about this for a while now, and definitely since the new year started. And just so you know, we're literally halfway through. We're literally halfway through February, which is so crazy. It's like, how did that happen? But that's what they want you to see, is like time is going faster, but at the same time, they want us to slow down, because the more we slow down and take care of ourselves and whatever, it's like the more we pull out of the matrix, because the matrix is like trying to keep up with the energy that's going at 5D, but people are going to burn the fuck out. Like it doesn't align. It doesn't work. People don't understand that, but the energy, the fifth dimensional energy moves faster, but like we actually slow down. And that's how we become more in sync. And that's why Gaia is like having all of these quakes and all these things that are happening on the earth. It's the energy. She's like, it's gonna hold, I can't hold it, you know what I mean? It's like, there's only so long she can go where she's like, she's gonna fucking blow up here, or she's gonna have a tsunami here, or she's gonna, you know, things. It's like she's doing the best she can, but she really does need our help. So divine feminine energy, baby. Divine feminine energy. All right, you guys, I love you so much. Make sure you take good care of yourselves and each other. Until next time, all right? I love you, and I will see you over at your reading. So are you going to go with reading 1? Hold on. I don't want to set myself on fire. Maybe I'll move this back a little bit. Okay. So we have reading 1, reading 2, reading 3, and reading 4. And I will see you over at yours. And if you're drawn to more than one, that's okay. This is one of those that, you know, I know sometimes you guys are like, I just watched the whole thing. This is one of those that I have a feeling it's probably not a bad idea to watch them all, because I felt something almost in every single one of them, you know, even if it's just a gentle reminder of your divinity and your special gifts and why you're here. We love you so much. All right, you guys, I'll see you at reading. Bye. Welcome, reading 1. Oh my gosh, I'm hearing Dolly Parton's song, Liar, liar, the world's on fire. What you gonna do when it all burns down? Oh, so also the termites got crazy where I was like, you guys, like, calm down. Like, you're being kind of cray-cray. If you didn't watch the group reading, we spoke about that. But I've had this situation with termites in my house, and it's been a super spiritual experience. And anyway, it's funny now they stopped. It's like they just wanted me to like talk to you about it. So also my throat chakra is like all cloudy and not cool right now. So I have to tell you right now that I want you to know how much you are loved. And Spirit wants you to know that you were born to enjoy your life. You may have had people who have told you that you don't deserve to have happiness. But your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to research termite spirit animal and work with their medicine. It will change your life. It's really been helping me. But also, I have a super short wick, which I didn't have. In the group reading, I was in a super high vibration, and if I'm just being honest, which you guys know, I try my best to be honest with you and not lie, but I also try not to be too harsh, because I know that, you know, we're all going through different things right now. I feel like my crystal, my rainbows want to come out. But what I'm getting from you guys is just such a heavy, like right now, like I'm scratching my head, like I almost didn't want to do this reading. And it doesn't make me like, I feel like you guys would be like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. It's like, no, don't say you're sorry. You know, I had a roommate once who literally, like, you know how they would have like a swear jar? She had me have like a sorry jar. And I had to either put money in the jar or like do something nice for her or something every time. And I'm telling you what, she beat the sorry out of me. And I was so fucking grateful because I didn't even realize how much I was apologizing just for being alive. And by the way, I found this on the floor, and I don't know whether it's going to be your card or not, but I feel like somebody needs to see this. It is my birthright to express myself in ways that are fulfilling to me. On the other side of it, it says, I freely express who I am. So let's put this over here because I feel like you need to, this is a message for somebody. It's time to just, you know, be crazy, be yourself. Whatever feels good to you. Also, let's see what's on the back of this card. I was born to enjoy life. I am a beloved child of the universe and have been given everything I need for every experience I shall have. See, you're a beloved child of the universe. You're born to enjoy life. You came here to be human and live in an avatar and have a human experience. But everything that you were born into or whatever happened to you was absolutely, positively meant to be. You chose it. You wanted to learn to grow. You wanted to learn to, you know, expand your awareness and your consciousness of your soul and your divinity. It is your birthright to be happy. It is your birthright to freely express yourself. It is your birthright to enjoy life. I feel like there's more cards that want to speak to you, so let's see what we got here. Spirit, do we have more messages for reading one right now? Yeah, like you guys, I'm not trying to be a dick. I swear I'm not, but like the Debbie Downer victim shit, you gotta fucking stop it right now. If you found yourself here, especially if you're new, just so you know, I'm TALLULAH WREN, I'm the magical medium, and I'm a badass motherfucker. And if you found yourself here, you're a badass motherfucker too. Okay? I don't usually get so graphic all the time, but sometimes it just needs to be said. Somehow, somewhere, somebody told you, and it could have been one thing you don't even realize. You could have been 4 years old, and somebody was like, oh gosh, you know, don't be like that, you know? And it does start that early. And most of the time, like 99.9% of the time, when people are being awful to you or saying shit like that to you, it's because they couldn't do that themselves. So they judge you and they're like, you know, especially if they really care about you, they think they're looking out for you, but all they're doing is literally injecting and creating an energy into your field that doesn't belong there. It's their shit. And now here you are, you know, let's just say 40 years later, and you're like, holy shit, you're right. I'm not that person. I will put a link in the description box. Always check out, there's tons of stuff in there. And there's my email if you'd like to work with me one-on-one, or I also like to group stuff, and I do a lot of really cool things. I was thinking I need to write more of a synopsis of like what I do and who I am. I may be changing some things on my channel. Anyway, I digress. So, but there's this really cool YouTube channel called Style for You or Style Like You. I don't know why I can never remember it, but I feel like I meant to say it that way because maybe other people will, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, or maybe that's because that's like in their tagline somewhere and I don't remember. But the cool thing about it is it started out just kind of simple about these women. And I don't know their whole story, but just that they're very individual, beautiful fashionistas, a lot of things. They're very, very beautiful, complex, and in a beautiful, and when I say complex, I mean that in a beautiful way, right? Like it's hard to describe people like that who are so special and are so gifted and artists. And so anyway, it started out as like one little thing, and now it's like blown up because they're like, I think the last one I saw was like Janelle Monáe's on there. And I was like, holy shit, like, right? So that, and I just want to show you something too, that like things can happen really quickly if you're on the right track. So I feel like for some of you, you're in the wrong job, you're in the wrong house, you're in the wrong relationship, you're in the wrong, you know, friendship groups, you're, you know, maybe it's all of the above. I know that it's been there for me. Yesterday, for some reason, I like went down memory lane. I don't even know, I didn't know why I was doing it until afterwards. I realized, I'm like, yeah, because in real time, today is Valentine's Day. It's, you know, Love Day, the 14th, but in 3 days from now, we're going to have the new moon in Aquarius, and we're having a full solar eclipse. And on top of that, we have the wood snake is going to the fire horse in the Lunar New Year. So, you know, the Chinese New Year. So this is a very big, huge fucking time right now that Spirit really wants us to just check that shit at the door and be like, I'm done. I'm not coming back for that. Like, I'm not coming back. I'm not going back. Even if you, I don't care if you change the way you look every day. I've had people are like, I don't remember you. And I'm like, well, that makes sense. I'm like, the last time you saw me, I looked like this. And they're like, oh yeah, I remember you now. You know what I mean? Because people are like, it's so weird. Don't you think it's kind of weird that you, and I was like, I think it's more weird that I had this one friend who I loved. I haven't seen her or talked to her in years, but she had the same haircut, the same, she was just the same all the time. She looked exactly the same, like I remember when she, 26, by the way, that's your angel number. I remember when she lost her fucking mind because they discontinued like her lip liner, her lip something, her lip color. She like lost her fucking mind. And I was like, dude, maybe that's a sign that you need to, you know, change it up. I'm like, I'm like, I love you. I'm like, but you've literally looked the same for like 12 years since I've known you. I'm like, exactly the same. Never, ever, ever different. I was like, do you think that's a little, it's like, and it's kind of interesting because she reminds me of Anna Wintour. Like she had a haircut like that. And, you know, and I was just like, I mean, just the same. She's like, no, I like it. That's what I look like. I feel good. That's where I feel like my best. And then it made me think like, what it made her feel like that's her best self. Because I met her when we were like 19. I think I was 19 and she was 21 or 22. And so or maybe I was 18, but anyway, it was in that realm, you know? So I was like, so basically you've looked the same since high school. I'm like, now you're in your 30s. You're getting married. You're about to have kids. Like, you know what I mean? And still the same. But that's what they liked. That's what they wanted. But that ain't you and that ain't me. So if you want to freely express who you are, it may not even be outwardly. It may just be that you've been somebody that people have known that's been quiet. And it reminds me of that scene in Overboard, the original one with Goldie Hawn, where he's like trying to pull one over on her, you know, because she has amnesia and she can't remember who she is. And he's trying to get back at her. So he lies to her and like says, you know, oh, you're my wife and all this. But she comes from money and she's never done any of these chores or never any of these things. And there's like this, you know, every time she would complain, he's like, honey, you've always done it this way. Or it's always been, you never complained about it before. And she's like, okay. And he's like, so then finally when she's had enough, he's like, it never bothered you before. And she's like, well, it bothers me now. And she starts pushing back and she's not, you know, now she's like, fuck you, dude. Like something's wrong. She's like, I feel it. Something feels wrong. Don't you think I feel it? She's like, I feel it. Like intuitively, I don't belong here. Something's wrong. She's like, something's wrong. And I feel like that's you guys. And I feel like once you freely express yourself, that's how I started losing my friends and my family because I pushed back. Because I had so many people in my life that were bullies or like pushovers or, you know, and I was just had all these learned behaviors because as an empath and, you know, a telepathic medium, not understanding what was going on. Because when I thought I heard, you know, voices in my head, they told me I was crazy like grandma. Everybody kept trying to put me away. So I started to realize to shut the fuck up. Not even to my friends, not even to my closest friends. When I tried to talk to my closest friends, it was usually like when we were really fucked up, drunk, stoned, both. And I was like I was so terrified to be myself even with my closest friends, like my full real self. And that's when I realized, I'm like, something's wrong. I should be able to 100% be myself, whatever that is, all the time. And if I'm being honest, that's why I'm separated from my husband now. And we've been separated for nearly 2 years. And we're working on things. But it's because we really had to realize, like, you know, it kind of was like that with him. He loved me. He loved Baba. He wanted to keep our family together. So he kind of morphed into us. You know, there was a lot of, you know, Baba and I are both very masculine, but we were, you know, females, right? But he started to lose himself, and not in the, you know, the good Eminem, like, lose yourself in the music, the magic, you know. It's like, no, it's like, it was like he was losing who he was. So we've had conversations in the last several months where he would say something or react a certain way, and I would go, oh, you never talked to me like that before. He's like, I wanted to. And I'm like, well, why didn't you talk to me? And he's like, I don't know. It was like, he said, I was so afraid that if I was my true self, that you wouldn't love me or you wouldn't be with me. And I was like, I would rather you stand up for yourself than you just be a yes man. I'm like, that's not what I want, you know? And it actually made me respect him more, and I loved him more because he told me the truth. I was like, that's what I want. I want the truth. And if you have friendships or you're in a relationship or even with yourself, because these readings are really about loving yourself and healing your wounds, whatever they are, you know, so that you can release that and leave it in the old world, the third dimensional world. The portals are closing, you know what I mean? Like, where it's like, not that you'll be stuck there. You can always go. It's like, it's an energy. So it's not like you're just going to be stuck somewhere. So don't look at it like that, right? Please. But I'm saying, like, you'll just be stuck in that matrix. You'll be stuck there. And you won't even know all the good in your life that can happen on the other side of that. Spirit says they want you to start working with I am mantras. I am. I have little post-its all over, and I'll read you the ones that I have. I am a millionaire. I am a beautiful soul. I am magic. I am royalty. I am amazing. There is $7,144,000 in our bank account. And I say our because I know that Alder, whether I like it or not, he is my twin flame. And there are some twin flame relationships that, you know, we don't get to sever that tie. It's not a you know, he and I, that's why we're trying so hard to work on this, because we both get it. Like, we both are getting the signs. We both are having the dreams. And, you know, you may be in a relationship like that too. You know, twin flame relationships, are very real, but I think people get soulmate relationships confused with, because trust me, and I say this with as much love for my partner as I can, if it were up to me, I would definitely be married to one of my soulmate relationships. Like, absolutely. We had so much fun. I mean, it was like a nonstop roller coaster ride. The only reason why we broke up is because he was an addict, and I found him literally like choking to death on his own vomit. And I know that's really gross, but, and that's when I broke up with him, because I was like, if I hadn't heard you come in, and if I hadn't woke up, I'm like, I just could feel it. I'm like, you would have died. I said, I would have woke up to you dead, and I would have never recovered from that. So, you know, and it was a wake up call for him too. And he changed his life, and we went in different directions. We literally moved to different states. So, you know, sometimes it's like you can be in a relationship that's so awesome, but I knew that he wasn't going to heal, not with me in his life. And I knew that as much as we loved each other and as much fun as we had, and mind-blowing sex and all that stuff, like, we had it all, you know. But it's more like, didn't we almost have it all, right? Because we didn't really have it all. That was the whole point. And what I realized with my twin flame is that we don't have it all either, but we have it where it counts. Like, we have it where it matters. Like, we're on the same spiritual path. We're on the same, you know. So a lot of you, if you found yourself here, you're light workers, you're spirit workers. And so you may be in a relationship with somebody that they're never going to change. And you need to make peace with it and say, I love you and I love me, but like, I love us both enough to set us free so that we can be with the people we need to be with, you know? And the interesting thing is, the soulmate that I spoke of, he ended up being in a relationship that was more like a twin flame relationship like I have. And we spoke this last summer, we ended up like connecting. It's a long story, but it was really cool. It was such a great moment because we got to really understand now like why we're not together and why, you know, this and that. And I was like, dude, I think, you know, he's been with this woman off and on for like 9 years. And I was like, and my partner and I have been together off and on, mostly on, for nearly 11 years in May. And it made me realize, like, I said, dude, I think she's your twin flame. And I said, whether you're meant to stay together or not, you know, because twin flames are just people who really stretch us and grow us. And, you know, that's why they say in a marriage, you don't want a yes person. And this goes for all relationships in our lives. We don't want people who are just going to say yes, especially people who are just like saying yes, but like behind our back, they're like speaking differently. Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like you guys have another card coming in. So I don't know who that was all for. I just was watching one of my favorite podcasters was like, I have never shared so much of my personal information. She's been doing this for years, and she's got a huge following. And she said, I literally have not shared this much of my information, personal information, for all the years I've had my channel on YouTube. She's like, I have never like than I have in the last like year or so. And I was like, I know what she means. It's like, I've had to share my life too, and it hasn't been easy. And I think that that's the whole point, is Alder and I we have to share our journey to help people to see like the difference between twin flames and soulmates, because it can be very confusing. And Spirit wants you to know that, like, that they know that it can be very, very confusing, right? It says right there on your card, I'm a beloved child of the universe and have been given everything I need for every experience I shall have. So that's where they want you to dig deep into your relationships. You know this. So, and you know that you're meant to enjoy life. You know that you're meant to freely express yourself. So they're saying now it's this. Every day I choose to send loving, healing energy. And Spirit wants you to add, so if you want to take a screenshot of this, but Spirit says they want you to add, for myself and Gaia. Every day I choose to send loving, healing energy to myself and Gaia. And you can even say to the collective, you know. So, right, so to the planet. So every day I choose to send loving, healing energy to the planet. What I do with my mind does make a difference. You guys, you have to elevate your energy. That's why I was saying I wasn't trying to be a dick that I didn't want to do a reading, but this happens sometimes, right? I'm sure people have felt that way about me too, right? Where it's like, you know, I'm like, I don't want to do the reading because your energy is so low and it's so like old energy. And it's like, I don't live there. I'm like fucking Snow White in here. Somebody said that to me recently. They're like, dude, I kind of picture you like Snow White. I'm like, it really is. I'm like, you don't even understand. Like, I have flocks of birds that like hang outside like my house and in the windows, or outside the trees in the windows. And, you know, because my energy is just, but it took me years to become this. I don't want you to have to go through years of it. You can change this. You can change it in an instant. But you have to do it every single day. You have to work at it every single day. Dale. Ooh, who's Dale? My mind is a powerful healing tool. Yeah, with great strength comes great responsibility. You know, they've said this to us for years. It's so true. It's so true. It's the Spider-Man thing, right? Remember when Uncle Ben says that to me? He's like, I'll never forget the original, very first big Spider-Man they did with Tobey Maguire. And I can't think of the actor's name, but he's one of my favorite actors growing up because I was born in 71. And the way he said it to him, it stuck with me. It stuck with me while I was going through my awakening, because I was like, you know, that part had always moved me. But then I was working with one of my favorite teachers, shamans, whatever. But she said to me, she said, I've been doing, you know, she's like, I'm generations and generations of like known, you know, awake you know, seers and light workers, or whatever the terminology, languaging she used. And she wasn't the first or the last one to tell me. She's like, but whatever you are, wherever you come from, she's like, you're here to make a massive difference. She's like, you are here to heal the healers. You're here to wake up everybody. So she goes, you have to go through everything first. So you guys, I've been going through all of this, and I've said this to you many times. I will never, ever ask you to do anything that I haven't done myself or that I'm not going through. That's why I'm sharing my stories with you, not to be like, oh, listen to my stories. It's like, no, I'm sharing my stories with you because I want you to know, like, you think I don't know that people aren't like, think I'm stupid or like that I'm crazy, that like, why would I still be in this relationship? And it's like, well, no, normally I would not. But this is, like it or not, this is my person. And whether I like it or not, we are tethered to each other through this lifetime. And our greatest love is each other. And our greatest healing mission is ourselves. And then coming together. And that may take us years. But all I know is that we will come back around at some point. And I want to give up, and I want to run away, and I want to just go be with someone else, or I just want to, you know, it's like, but running away is not an option, you guys. We don't have the luxury to run away. Unfortunately. If you found yourself in this reading, you have a higher mission, a higher purpose, a higher cause. It's going to be individualized, so I'm not even going to go there. But if you do want to work with me, if you're struggling to find out what that is, we could go deeper into that. Email me, magickalmedium@gmail.com. It's in the description box. And I work on a sliding scale. So, you know, and there are many options that we can do. Sometimes it's simple. Sometimes it's just a 15-minute video, you know. Sometimes it's 5 hours. I've done sessions that were like 5 hours, you know, because sometimes that's what it takes. But if somebody's like, I only have $100 and I charge $100 an hour, if Spirit tells me to work with them for 5 hours, that's what it is. You know? It's all about the exchange of energy, right? If someone's lying to me about money or whatever, it's like that karma that's not for me to, you know what I mean? I don't need to concern myself with that. Same for you, you know, it's not tit for tat. I feel like we got one more message coming through. Okay, Spirit, do we have any more messages? It feels like a closing message, but there could be more than one. Do we have any more? There's two. That's what it was. Maybe that's what it was. Do we have any more? They were, when I pulled them out, they were like this, like almost like stuck together. So this one says, I see myself healthy, whole, and living in a society where it is safe for me to be who I am, to love others. And I'm hearing that, you know, liar, liar, the world's on. I'm not going to try and sing Dolly, but you know, right? So she's like, but we still got time to turn it all around. You have time to turn this around. I'm not going to go to this other card yet, but I am going to flip this one over. I am in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. Did I not say at the beginning of this? Did I not say that? You guys, I felt this like really stressful urgency from you guys. Like that you're like, am I doing it right? Am I in the right place at the right time? Am I, you know, and Spirit's like, you are literally stressing yourself out way, 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 way too much. And it's unnecessary, and it's not yours, because it has to do with whatever this thing, because it's gonna be different for all of you guys. This childhood, you know, it's like, and it could be more than one thing. It could absolutely positively be more than one thing. It could be a multiple. It could be, you know what I mean? I met someone recently, and I couldn't believe how many things we had in common, because I've had such a messed up childhood and a crazy life. But it was kind of cool. It was kind of cool to have that experience with them, because it made me realize that I'm not alone. And, you know, I think growing up, people used to, you know, I grew up in that kind of like keeping up with the Joneses mentality, and it's still out there. It's just, now it's a little different. Now it's like how much, you know, it's like the nouveau riche energy and the plastic surgery and like trying to be perfect. And, It's definitely a little different. But there is this overarching like energy of that. Am I in the right place? Am I doing the right thing? You know, oh my gosh, I should be here by now. I should be there by now. Drink some water, by the way, Spirit said. Stay hydrated, especially if you're watching this. I'm going to post this today on Valentine's Day in real time, 2026. Between now and the new moon, like, eat as healthy as you can. Drink, you know, good, clean water. Self-care is on the menu, honeys. But you have to remember that whatever is right for you is what's right for you, and you're not going to miss it. Use your mind as a healing tool. As much as you're doing the monkey mind, they're like, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to push back and mirror back the opposite. If a negative thought comes in or a negative whatever, replace it with something positive, even if it has to be the same thing. I haven't felt the need to put any more I ams up here because those feel good to me. When I want one, I write one down and I put it on a Post-it and I put it up on the wall. You know, do what you need to do to keep yourself in the highest vibration possible, because right now, what I'm getting from you guys, like this, I don't know who this is, but I've been hearing somebody who was like, they want me to move that out. And like, I almost feel like somebody couldn't breathe until I moved that. But you know what, you guys, you've got to work with that. I have been where you are. That kind of stress, that kind of anxiety is so self-sabotaging. You are fucking up your own energy. I understand. But with as much power as you have to say the negative things, you have the same power to say positive things. With great strength comes great responsibility. Wield it wisely. And your last card is, oh, it's so fucking perfect. Every habit and pattern I create serves me in some way, right? Because even if these negative things that we're trying to help you get rid of, but they also created you, because you were meant to live those experiences and have these anxieties or depressions and all these things, right? Depressions living in the past, anxieties living in the future, right? Live in the now, man. But you needed those because maybe you're going to help others. You're going to teach others how to relax. You're going to teach others how to chill. Yeah, you are going to do that. Because when I'm ready to let it go, the universe helps me release it. Every habit and pattern I create serves me in some way. When I'm ready to let it go, the universe helps me release it. I feel like this is your mantra. Get off the hamster wheel. Get out of the 3D. You don't belong there. And your very last mantra message is, I have the power to make change. Yes. Reading 1. Don't forget 2626 angel number just came back up, and they don't do that all the time, so really work with it. It's also 88, which is 16. It's also the number 7, and 7s are all about cycles, baby. I love you guys so much. I love you so much. Now you have to love yourself. Love yourself. That's what this reading is about. You know, Valentine's Day is not about who's getting the most Valentines, who's getting the most candy, who's it, you know, I saw, I forget her name, Erin something, but she's on YouTube. She's probably on other platforms too, but she's hilarious, and she does like millennial videos and stuff. And so she did one for Valentine's Day, and it made me laugh so hard. But I was thinking, like, yeah, remember like the Valentines, like, you know, even then it's like we were being validated, or we were seeking validation. She was hoping to get the boy who she had a crush on. She was hoping to get a Valentine from him. And when she opened her box and saw that he put one in there, she had hearts all around her head, and she was so excited until she realized that all of her classmates got the exact same one. So she didn't feel special anymore. But you know what? It's about making ourselves feel special. She's beautiful just the way she is, because, right, we have the power to make change. And that is your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to make the changes that you need now to become the best version of yourself. Let me see if Spirit wants me to, Spirit, would you like me to turn any of these cards over right now so they can, do you want to do screenshots for them? I just heard for you guys to take a screenshot. Do we want to turn it around after their screenshot and get the other sides too. They're like, no, you guys get it. All right, I'm going to take a screenshot for you too, because it's beautiful. It's good reminders for all of us. All right, you guys, I hope these messages helped you in any way. Remember to love yourself, express yourself, and work with healing. It sounds like your mind is the first place to start. So start feeding yourself positive thoughts when the negative ones come in. All right, you guys, until next time, all of my information's in the description box. I'll see you at the next reading. Blessed be. Take good care of yourselves and each other. Bye-bye. Welcome, reading 2. You chose, I relax and enjoy life. I know that whatever I need to know is revealed to me in the perfect time and space sequence. When I went to put this together, I was like, wait, was this in reading 1? I had to think for a second. So if you were drawn to reading 1, we spoke about this topic as well. So if you are feeling that need, you may want to go and check that out. If not, don't make something your story that's not your story. There was actually a lot of really heavy energy in that one. So there was a lot going on, really. Anyway, so with that being said, these readings, if you didn't watch the intro, these readings are about how to love yourself. This isn't as much as I wanted to do a couples kind of reading. I got more of a, no, this is about loving ourselves first, right? It's great if you're in a relationship and all that, but right now is not the time to be starting a new relationship. You know what I mean? With the way that the world is, unless you're obviously, there are some people, maybe you're meant to meet your twin flame, and things are going to fall into place. I don't know. I don't want to speak that, but I'm just saying I'm not feeling a romantic reading is what I'm saying. So these feel more almost like mantras. They have 2 sides. So I'll read you this side as well. Oops. And it says, everything I need comes to me in the perfect time. This is your mission should you choose to accept it. This is literally your new mantra right now. Everything I need comes to me in the perfect time. I'm trying to get it nice so you can get a picture. Everything I need comes to me in the perfect time. Because I relax and enjoy life, and I know that whatever I need to know is revealed to me in the perfect time and space sequence. Stop. I know I was doing this recently where I could tell it's the old energy wanting to stay, right? Because in real time, these messages are always timeless, but in real time, we're just a few days away from the new moon in Aquarius and from the wood snake leaving us and going into the fire horse. There's also a solar eclipse. There's so many things happening. It's also Fat Tuesday. I mean, just crazy. It's just there's just so many things happening on that day. It's unreal. But I feel for some of you, you're feeling this anxious energy. Hold on. I feel you guys need another card. I'm also hearing, stop holding back. What's that song? I want to see you be brave, right? It was Sarah, I think it's Sarah Bareilles, and she's and since your history of silence won't do you any good, did you think it would, right? Don't let your words be something anything but empty. Why don't you tell them the truth? Say what you want to say and let the words come out. Honestly, I want to see you be brave. Spirit wants you to be brave and have faith. Some of you are literally, I heard, atheists. There are some of you that you don't know what you believe in. That's why you're more into spirituality, because you're not even sure if God exists or if you're not sure. I feel you believe something exists, but you're not sure what it is. And so you're having a hard time with everything right now because, if you go down the rabbit hole of the energy that's happening right now, I mean, you can see why people are killing people and killing themselves and all these things. And, it's all these things are happening because people don't want to see what's really happening. The funny thing is from the time I was a child, from the time I was born until people started telling me it wasn't true, this was real to me. I believed in magic. I believed in fairies. I believed in God. I believed that there was, Jesus. I believed in, but I just felt the Bible was bullshit. I was this feels wrong. I'm this feels wrong. What's up with men? Why are these men doing these things? I remember as a child, like looking at situations and seeing, you know, where the women didn't have power. And, you know, I was born in 1971, and, you know, it's like it wasn't that long ago, you guys, where women literally didn't even have their own checkbooks in America. That's why they're trying to make America great again. They want it to go back to, like, you know, women can't vote. And, you know, I mean, it's just like they want the men to run the fucking show. They don't want to be held accountable for rape and human trafficking and like all this stuff. Like, they don't, you know what I mean? So, but they don't get it. Like, it's been, for them, it's been like this for thousands of years. So they think this is just another whatever, but like all the rest of us are like, nope, sorry, that's over. That's not going to happen anymore. So Spirit wants you to believe that everything is possible. Your new mantra is everything is possible, right? Whether it's meant for you or meant for another person, it's like, may not, you know, remains to be seen, right? But like, but everything is possible. And once you realize that everything's possible, then you don't look at things as being impossible. You don't look at like, am I missing something? Oh my gosh, if I don't do this, I'm gonna, you know, blah, blah, blah. I started watching all these readings lately, and I caught myself. I was like, what is happening? I woke up the next day, but then the funny thing is, like, I wake up the next day and I laugh because I realized I was obviously in some fucking hamster wheel in my head, an old programming that I'm working out, that it's moving out of my system. It's moving out of my mind, my body, and my soul. So this is something, you know, we are all a work in progress, right? Like, one of my dear friends growing up, she used to say that all the time. And it's funny, so many of the mantras that she would say she was so powerful and witchy and magical. And I'm sure she still is wherever she is. But you know, those are the moments. Those are the things where you realize it's like, yeah, it's like she just always knew that inherently, you know, that like we're all just doing the best we can. You know, we're not meant to be perfect. We're not, which ironically, they had like a big keeping up with the Joneses mentality. And I would say that to them, like, who fucking cares, dude? Like, who cares if these people have money or these people, you know, it's like, especially when you live in neighborhoods. And I mean, it just starts to get so weird, and everybody is projecting from your neighbors to your parents, to your friends, to your significant other, even animals, right? Like everybody's projecting their shit on each other. So right now, with the world being in flux as it is, it's just like an open fucking free for all shit show. And, you know, you have to be discerning on what you allow in your mental field. Let's see if we have any more. Yeah, I feel like for some of you, because I literally was thinking to myself, this is so similar to reading one that I don't even know why we would, but there's always like a catch, right? But also it's maybe because some of you guys need reading one. Okay, so I choose to believe that everyone is always helpful. Therefore, wherever I go in life, people are there to help me, right? If you're like, everybody, you know, is out to get me, if you know, if you're, then yeah, all day long, you're pulling in that energy. But if you're pulling in the energy, if you choose to believe, if you choose to come from love, because I feel like that's what this reading is about. If you didn't watch the intro, like we spoke about that this reading is really about the healing journey of love for ourselves and for Gaia, because she needs us so bad right now. The earth, she needs our energy, she needs our high vibration, and the algorithms are changing to the positive. So keep your high vibration high and know that everything is going to come to you when it's time. Somebody else's divine timing is not your divine timing. Okay? And this says, I am safe and secure in my world. You are. You are safe and secure in your world. That's how they want you to see it. Like, you are safe and secure at all times. No one is out to get you. And if there are people out to get you, then don't have those people in your orbit. Pretty simple. Straightforward math, I heard. You know? We humans make things life isn't complicated. I saw this recently. I'm paraphrasing, but it was an interesting quote. And it said something like, life isn't complicated. Like, people make life complicated. Life is pretty straightforward and simple. Just love yourself and love each other. Pretty fucking straightforward and simple. But then everybody brings in their shit or manipulation or how can I get my way on this? I just watched this really great movie, and it had such a good ending. I was so grateful for the ending. But basically it was this person who she really thought she was the cat's pajamas. She really thought she had everybody fooled and under her spell and her manipulation. But the truth is, at the end of the day, when she tried to state her case, the one person who she was trying so hard to get to like her and whatever, finally just, you know, he tried so hard to be kind to her. He tried so hard to be nice to her. He tried to see the good in her. And then finally at the end, he's like, you are a manipulative, conniving. He's like, that's why we didn't date back then. I knew you had a crush on me. I knew you liked me. He's like, you know, and she's like, then why did you stay friends with me? He's like, because I had hoped that someday that you would grow out of it. And he's like, and then they hadn't seen each other for years. And he goes, it makes me sad that we're in our 30s and you're still like this. He's like, I'm sad for you. He's like, because he basically was like, you've chased your whole life as a lie and wearing masks and all this stuff. Like, he's like, you're playing a game. You're playing cat and mouse with other people's lives and their emotions. So, you know, if you are doing that, or if someone is doing that to you, then I highly suggest you put an end to it. So this says, the universe is one of great order and peacefulness, and I reflect this in every moment of my life. So I'm hearing meditation, you know. I've been doing this, well, Spirit's been kind of forcing me, but I love it. Lately, even if it's just 2 minutes, I just turn everything off for like 2 minutes, or sometimes like for 5 minutes, I'll put on like a little meditation. One of my friends and I, we had a session yesterday, and she's like, oh, I just bought these really cool prayer candles. And she goes, they're literally, they're beeswax, and they're nice, and they're natural, and they smell nice. And she said after, they're 20 minutes. So she goes, I know that when that prayer candle goes out, like, then I'm good, you know. So everybody has their own way of doing things, but even 5 minutes, just putting on a little bit of meditative music, if you need that to help you to have the order and the peacefulness in your life that you need. Because look at, and I reflect this in every moment of my life, because the more you guys calm down, because I'm just feeling this anxious, I felt a lot of anxious energy. One was the same way. I was saying to one, I'm like, I'm not trying to be mean, but it was like really hard to get into their reading because the energy was just so intense. It was so overwhelming, and in a negative way, like in an old third dimensional. And I was like, but that's what made me realize that even with all of us, you guys, like, we're powerful light workers. We're fighting it too. We're not perfect. We're not meant to be perfect. We're in human form, but they're trying to remind us that, yes, but we're also the leaders. So like, you know, we have to work through our stuff and get through this, right? That's why I'm not doing relationship readings today on Valentine's Day. I'm doing the self-relationship reading, because that's the most important. Because once we love ourselves, then we have the full love ourselves, understand ourselves, find peace and serenity in our own existence. Then, and only then, can we bring it out into the world. So your mantra, was that you, or was that reading one where Spirit was saying, it's time for some I am mantras. So this is your I am mantra to work with right now. Even if you want to take a screenshot to remind yourself, I am centered in truth and peace. Okay? I am centered in truth and peace. And then I think this may be your last card. I listen with love to my body's messages. Interesting. And then the other side says, I take a nice deep breath and release all resistance to healing. Yeah, I kind of felt that too. Like, I feel like you guys are holding your breath. So I listen with love to my body's messages. So I heard for some of you, if you're, you know, you're also probably noticing, are you having like a lot of weird things happening with your bodies, or like maybe like you could normally eat, you know, this food or that food. I'm trying to move things, I can move this back. And now all of a sudden you're like, I can't eat that anymore, or I can't. When I was going through my awakening, that's when I became a vegan again, because it was like all of a sudden my body was just like, I don't want these foods. Recently that happened to me. I had a pancreatitis attack, and I hadn't had one in years, and I forgot how fucking horrible it was. And because my body just doesn't like certain foods. So listen to your body right now. Also with the meditation, start working on breathing. Your mission, should you choose to accept it. If you don't know already, some of you may know, and this is just a reminder to use the deep breathing exercises that you've learned. Maybe you need to go in and do a brush up tutorial. But there's all different types of breathing, and it really is different for everybody. You know, like when I learned about dragon's breath, I loved it, because I was like, that is so me. I'm like, you know, I'm such a dragon, but it was like such a, because sometimes I like to do the, you know, in through the mouth, or in through the nose, out through the mouth. But I liked with the dragon. So this is the dragon breath, and I don't do it perfectly, but it goes like this. It's like short breaths, and I feel like it like pushes things out as like I'm going. I don't know. So work with some breathing exercises. There's things all over the internet, and there's apps and things like that. Just make sure that they're coming from a good place. I saw it, you guys. You know, I would rather, you know, step on my own tongue than say something negative about people, because I know everybody's going through their own stuff right now. But Spirit led me to this channel yesterday. I don't know, whenever this week, but these women, it was such fucking fake bullshit. I literally, it made me kind of sick to my stomach to watch it. It felt like, you know, when you're watching like a really wrong porno, that you're just like, this feels wrong. Like, it's, yeah, this, like, I don't think this girl really wanted to do this. She seems like she's on drugs. Like, I got to a point where I couldn't even look at like porn, because I'm so dialed in that I was like, this girl is out of it. She doesn't even know she's there right now. I'm like, I was like sick to my stomach. But that's kind of how it felt when I watched this. I was kind of having this kind of weird out of body experience. These women, they were like, the one, she had so much plastic surgery, and like her hair, and she just kept like playing with her, like her hair, and like looking into the camera like, I'm so beautiful. She's like, love and light, like, yeah. And I was like, oh my God, what is happening right now? I'm like, who are these women? Why are they doing this show? And maybe they're starting it for the right reasons, but it was just like, I'm like, oh, my loves, like, you're not teachers. You should not be teaching right now. Like, you're nowhere near that level of whatever. And people, and it concerned me for a second, because I'm like, who would watch this? Like, this is so fake. Like, it was not real spiritual. So really seriously, use your discernment when you are doing anything, especially subliminals, things like that. You don't know what the fuck people are putting in your subliminals while you're sleeping. Be really mindful of it. If you have any inkling that anything feels even slightly off, it's not the right one for you. Okay? There are so many out there. But remember that the shadow is coming at us from that angle too. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people might buy into those women, and like, you know, she had her boobs were, I mean, I could just tell they were fake, and just like her, I mean, I could almost see her nipples, and I was just like, what is going on? And this wasn't like women who were like celebrating themselves in the divine feminine. This was like literally like so fake. You know what I mean? Where I was like, and I'm like, I know what I am, but seriously, I feel like any average person would see through that, but they might not. I don't know who that was for. Anyway, so look at, also it says, I am centered in truth and peace. So use that. And maybe some of you guys, you know, we joke in, like, my teachers and I used to say I was a human bullshit barometer. They're like, nobody can get anything past you. I'm like, never. It's been like that my whole life. So I knew this was going to come up, you guys. I just didn't know where. But we have these Miracles Now cards. I've had these cards for years. As you can tell, it's very well loved. But this is your other mantra. I show up for myself in the world. The real you, the true self, not a faux self. You're safe and secure in the world to be yourself. So these are your last things. I'm going to go through it. I am centered in truth and peace. The universe is one of great order and peacefulness, and I reflect this in every moment of my life. Everything I need comes to me in the perfect time. I relax and enjoy life. I know that whatever I need to know is revealed to me in the perfect time and space sequence. I am safe and secure in my world. I choose to believe everyone is always helpful, and I heard and there for me. Therefore, wherever I go in life, people are there to help me. I take a nice deep breath and release all resistance to healing, because I listen with love to my body's messages, and I show up for myself in the world, because I am the miracle now. If you found yourself on this channel, you guys, you are the miracle, like me. Like, we were brought here to be these magical, awesomely magical creatures. Like, we were brought here to change the world. It's not being conceited. It's not, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm not trying to be a jerk about those women. I pray they find what they're, you know, what they're searching for there. But at the same time, I can't not, you know, feel what I felt. Like, I know that that's not who they truly are. So hopefully this mission will help them find out who they truly are. But in the meantime, I feel like you guys needed this for yourself. Even if you just
This is how they wanted you to see it. If you want to take a screenshot, I'm going to take one too. All right, you guys, move it there. There we go. All right, those are your messages. Reading 2. You got this. You got this. And like I said, if you were drawn to reading 1, it was a very full reading. There was a lot of messages in there. So take what you need, leave behind what you don't, and we will see you at the next reading. If you'd like to work with me one-on-one or in groups or any of that, it's all in the description box, along with my email address, which you can just highlight and copy to send me an email. I work on a sliding scale. And also there are links there if you'd like to contribute. If not, that's okay. Just remember that prayer is free and it's all about the exchange of energy. All right, I'll see you at the next reading. In the meantime, take good care of yourselves and each other. Blessed love day. I love you. I'll see you next time. Blessed be. Oh, bye.
Welcome, reading 3. I feel like my mom is here with us because I've been seeing and feeling my mom, like seeing things from my mom and like feeling energy from my mom. And then like right when I went to unpause it, it was at 1:10:13. Oh, and I looked up, I was 31, which is 13 backwards. And my mom, that was my mom's birthday. It was 10:13. So I don't know, maybe some of you guys are Libras, or maybe you're born on the 13th. Also, it's interesting because this deck that we're using is called How to Love Yourself, and that's what these messages are. Happy Valentine's Day, happy love day, happy love yourself day. But there's also some cards in there that my friend had gifted to me, called Miracles Now, like that's the name of the deck, but then they have a message. And so you were the only reading that had the Miracles Now as the cover. And it's interesting because they didn't want me to turn that over yet, but they just had me pull another Miracles Now, but they want you to see this one first. Whenever I compare myself to others, I simply say this prayer: the light I see in them is a reflection of my inner light. Yeah, I feel like you guys feel like you can't, like sometimes people will say, oh, I can't do what you do. I'm like, what do you mean you can't do what I do? I'm like, of course you can. They're like, well, no, I mean, you're like so gifted. I'm like, okay, but I'm reading for you. A lot of times it's like when I read for people and I'm like, I'm reading for you right now. I'm like, I only read for people who are really, this dance ain't for everybody, only the sexy people, you know what I mean? So it's like, I always tell people, if you find my channel, like if you find this channel, you know, part of my, if you're new here, welcome, and welcome back to those of you who keep coming back. Your angel number to work with is 1153. I just looked up and that's what I saw. So work with 1153. But also 1153 is the number 10. You know, 2026 is a completion. It comes out to the number 10. So this is a year of wrapping things up and completing things so that when we get to 2027, which is an 11 year, it's like about new beginnings. And it's also an angel number. So this is a very interesting, very, 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 very interesting year indeed. But I'm feeling a lot of hope from you, reading 3, especially because reading 1 was like so heavy. It was, I mean, if you were drawn to reading 1 or reading 2, definitely check them out. It was actually really bizarre because the beginning of reading 2 was so similar to reading 1 that I was like, did I just like start, you know what I mean? But then it went in kind of a different direction, and I realized like these kind of readings, when we do these, like I started with a group reading and we picked the cards and we were talking about it together. It's like, I feel like these are the readings where it's like, yeah, you could probably watch this whole episode and gain something really powerful from each reading. And that's kind of what it felt like. It just feels like they're just kind of like extensions of each other. And so this card for you right now kind of reminds me of that, because there's a lot of insecurity, a lot of solar plexus chakra energy that is not good right now. And so your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to work with healing your inside and your outside. You know, working more with meditation, your chakras, balancing and clearing your chakras. You know, you don't have to be a Reiki to Reiki yourself. You can call in, you know, I don't call them in unless I'm really hurting, but there are galactic surgeons. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but they're very fucking real. And I remember one of the first times I worked with them, I was like, this is crazy. I said, because I was working with my teacher and we called them in together, and they were like, I go, dude, it's so crazy right now. And she's like, I know. You feel a little crazy right now. I'm like, I feel like I can literally like see them working on my body right now. She's like, I know. She's like, so you can do this, but it's not something I do all the time, because we're so strong and powerful. We can heal ourselves here. But sometimes, you know, if you're doing a lot of physical stuff, you know, a lot of
like literally like physical stuff. Like maybe you're working out a lot, but then you're also like running errands and you're busy, or you're working, you know, overtime, or, you know, whatever. But then on top of that, you know, you're doing your spirit work and whatever. It's like, and you're so divinely connected that you're like, you know, it's easy to like lose sight of like where we're so exhausted that we kind of need a little help. So I just called the galactic surgeons in with great, I just say with grace and gratitude, you know, I call upon my higher self and I just call upon them and I ask them to come in, you know, come into my home and into my mind, body, and soul and repair anything that needs some attention. That's why I really believe that there's a lot of people like myself, like I don't think we'll ever get cancer or things like that because it never goes that far. We're constantly working on ourselves. Also, the termites are going fucking crazy right now. I mean, crazy. I mean, I rarely hear them like this. So, and they don't like this time of day, like when the sun is out. They like to be in like damp, like wet, more like stuff like that. So they don't like the heat of the sun. So it's kind of interesting, but I kind of felt like somebody just turned the radio up really loud and I was trying to talk over it. So I feel like, for those of you who've been working with us, you know, the termites have been working with us for a really long time now in this tribe. But like I said, I mean, they literally, I don't hear them all the time. I mean, I don't, it's crazy. And then all of a sudden I'll just like hear them super loud. So work with termite spirit medicine. It could be that maybe you're new here, or you could be a regular and you haven't seen some of the readings, or you still haven't looked it up. You still haven't worked with the medicine, or maybe you read it, but they're like, no, you need to really work with it, because the termite spirit medicine is about transformation and change. And also, you know, what they give us is actually a gift, because they're eating away at the old gross stuff that no longer serves the structure of the home. And we have been in a remodel of this vintage RV for a few years now, and we haven't been able to get to this spot. We were hoping to get to it, but we haven't. So when the termites showed up, I was trying to get rid of them, and then Spirit was like, no, they're doing you a really great favor right now. They're like, seriously, like sometimes we have to just allow things to like unfold the way they're meant to naturally. So I feel like for you guys, your gifts are unfolding naturally, but you have to allow them. Don't compare your gifts to other people's gifts. I've actually like had people in my life who would say, oh man, I'm so jealous of you, or I'm so jealous of your gifts. And I'd be like, first of all, the grass is always greener. And second of all, I'm like, don't do that, because you're coveting my energy. That's envy. That's, you know what I mean? And it's like, that's not who you guys are. It's a low vibration energy. Would you see that little fairy come in? You don't need to compare yourself. You're so awesome. Now they're saying it's time for this one. I make time to recharge my battery. The world needs my energetic light. Isn't that interesting? Like, I mean, I only have, I think, I don't know how many of these cards I have, because my friend would send them to me all the time, like in like little care packages and stuff. So I started using them because Spirit asked me to use them in our readings. But I think in this deck, there's like maybe 4, 6 max, maybe. I mean, but it's a really, really thick deck. So it's interesting that you pulled these 2 cards and both of them talk about light. Your energetic light and your inner light. So also, like I said, when I heard them, it sounded like they were like, like I just felt like this really like high, intense energy. And I'm feeling that with you guys. Also, I'm hearing there's at least one person in here with not many. If you guys are empaths, coffee is not your friend. There are a lot of things that you can drink that will give you the energy that you need without doing the crap. You know, mushroom. I just got this blend. I haven't tried it yet. I'm actually kind of excited. It's like ashwagandha or ashu, you know what I mean? It's that one. It's like two mushroom and one, I think there's like maca in there. And it may not taste like coffee, but you can find ways to, you know, because even decaf, I'm hearing for some of you guys, even decaf. I know for me, I can't even have decaf. Like today, I've had nothing but water. And I'm still kind of like, you know what I mean? Because I'm high on life. And I feel like you guys are too. Like you're really, really deeply connected to Spirit. Like you're so connected to Spirit. But it's almost like you're like floating away, like untethered like a balloon. And I'm hearing like you're just overactive. I also heard an overactive bladder. Some of you aren't sleeping through the night because you're drinking too much liquid. Like, don't drink anything for a few hours before bed. And if you're going to have water, like, you know what I do? Like when I'm really thirsty before bed, but I want to sleep through the night and not have to get up and pee, I literally just like take a big mouthful of water and I just rinse my mouth really nice. And then I spit it out. And then it's like my mouth still feels the moisture, and just a little bit will trickle down my throat, right? Like the water, just a little bit, but not enough that I would have to get up and pee, you know, kind of thing. So I'm hearing for you guys, you know, your sleep is really important. I just keep seeing not sleeping and coffee. Those are the two things that keep coming up over and over. And I almost feel like they're in between. I don't know how to explain this, but I literally feel almost as if like this, there's like this, there's something in between. So let's see if there's another card, because I kind of feel like I keep seeing the coffee and the sleep in between those cards, and they're kind of saying like the way they're showing it to me, how I'm trying to explain it, but give me the word, spirit, is like I feel like the coffee and the sleep is why this is. By the way, look at my cute little heart sweatshirt for today. I make time to recharge my battery. The world needs my energetic light. It's like, you know this, but you need to really practice it. And this, whenever I compare myself to others, I simply say this prayer: the light I see in them is a reflection of my inner light. So it could even be like, maybe somebody, you know, like maybe you picked up bad habits from a roommate, you know, where they would be, oh my gosh, you guys, you just pulled another Miracles Now card. Come on. I trust that my gut reaction is the truth underneath the surface of my fears. I heard to do it like this way. And if you're not doing these things, it's like these are the things they want you to be working on and focusing on. You know, like take a screenshot of this. Let me see if I can. So you can see the bottom of that one. Woo, sorry guys. Got to see me for a minute. You know what was so funny? Is I was starting to get ready and curl my hair and look really cute. And they're like, no, you're fine. You don't need to do all that. So you guys got to see me with like not getting ready. Anyway, I want you to take a screenshot of this, because these are true statements. These are the true statements that they want you to understand, instead of the mirrored false statements of that. Do you know what I'm saying? I make time to recharge my battery. The world needs my energetic light. And actually, I almost kind of feel like, I want to put them in like a different order. If that makes any sense. I feel like they're, okay. I feel like they want me to pull more cards. I also feel like I'm unraveling at the seams, you guys. I feel like I'm falling. I love you so much. Just know that you're loved. This whole session, this whole reading was to help you learn how to love yourself. Okay, so don't take things as a negative. It's like they want you to see, look at this. I am in harmony with all that surrounds me. I am at peace. Yeah, I feel such an yeah, I don't feel good. I affirm only the good in life. There's something, it's weird, because I almost feel like there's some of you that are here, like you don't want to be here. I'm like, then why are you watching this reading? Like, why are you here? If you're not meant to be here, like, or if you're not going to like take this, if you're not going to listen, if you're going to keep doing the same thing over and over, Spirit's like, I literally am getting the vibe like, be here or don't be here, right? I show up for myself in the world. Either you really do this or you don't. But no more procrastinating, no more bullshit, no more like, no more. I live and work in comfort and ease and beauty. And if you're not living in this, then they're trying to show you that you need to be able to say that about your life. My home is a reflection of me, and I choose to make it a wonderful place to live. Oh, you guys, I love you so much. I know you're struggling, but you know what? I mean, you know, I say this with love, and it's hard for me not to be a dick, but it's like, I just feel like for so many of us, like we have been going through this with Spirit for so freaking long. that it's like, so when is it, like, if this isn't it, like, when is it going to be it? And if not, they're like, maybe it's time for you to stop watching these readings and stop pretending like you're a spiritual person and stop, like, they're getting really fucking real with you guys right now. And I'm really sorry about that. Like, because some of you, this is why you're so miserable. Because you're not living and working in comfort and ease and beauty, but you want to be. And they're like, yeah, but you have to make it happen. Going is not going to get you to where you want to be. You know, it's a bad bill of goods. And when we compare ourselves to others, we forget our light. We forget our divinity. We forget, like, who we are. I'm not just your typical reader. If you're new here, like, I'm not just your typical reader. I am an earth angel, and so are you. You're either an earth angel or you're a light worker of some kind, which is somebody who still works for the angel realm. So, like, we're here to work. We're not here to fuck about. We're not here to, you know, live. It's like, we're here to enjoy life, yes, but, like, in the way that we're meant to be here, not in just any way we want to. Just because we want something doesn't mean, you know what I mean? It's like, it's an old world. I don't know what's going on, but I feel like there's something else they want me to say. And, you know, you signed up for this to show up for yourself in the world. Like, you signed up for this. This isn't like all of a sudden Spirit's just like throwing something at you. I feel like for some of you, like, you've always known this about yourself. Like, you've always known this. I don't like doing these readings because I love you guys so fucking much. And I said it in the other readings, like, I will never ask you to do anything I haven't done myself. And I am here for you. You got this. You can have the life you want, but you have to step, you know, it's like, it's stepping into the reality, right? Like, you're not missing out on anything. This was coming up in the other readings. It's like, you're not missing out on anything, because whenever it is, when you align with the fucking energy of where you want to be, everything will just fall in the way. You're comparing yourself to others, but you don't know what they've been through or how much, you know, what they've walked through, the fires they've walked through. It's like, you know what I mean? It's so easy to envy somebody from afar. You know, I mean, I've seen this. A lot of readers have been, like, coming out, so to speak, and saying things like this. They're like, don't, like, covet me. Like, I'm as fucked up as you are. We are all going through this right now. It's just like on days like this, right? Like, we hone our energy to come in, to be here because we want to be here. Like, I love you guys. Like, I want to be here. I want to support you. But you have to do the work. You have to make the time to recharge your battery. You need to pull away from the people, places, and things that aren't suiting you. You deserve to live and work in comfort and ease and beauty and not be miserable. But you got to show up. You've got to do the work. Do we have any more cards? Do you want me to pull any of these in there? Also, they're saying, use your intuition. You know it. Trust your gut reaction is the truth underneath the surface of your fears. And a lot of you, you're more afraid that people aren't going to love you. But you know what? How about you loving you? Because you're the only one that matters. I affirm only the good in my life. Train your brain to think positively. The I am mantras have been coming through for everybody. So this is your I am mantra. I am in harmony with all that surrounds me. I am at peace. And the more you tell yourself these things, the more you truly will be. You got this. I love you. Spirit loves you. If you're drawn to any other piles, check them out. All right, you guys, until next time, all of my information is in the description box. If you'd like to work with me one-on-one, I work in a sliding scale, and I do all different forms of divination and channeling and all that. So if you need to go deeper, or you need to, you know, because I'm hearing a lot of things right now, but I don't want to confuse the situation because there's a lot of people watching these. So trust your own gut reaction, okay? I'm just here to lead you back to yourself. Am I a healer? Yes, but you're your own healer. I'm my own healer. I'm just here to mirror you back to you. This is just you talking back to you and getting real about it now. You're not of the third dimensional reality. You're just stuck in it. You got this. I love you guys. Until next time, take good care of yourselves and each other, and leave this shit behind and the old snake energy. Because when the fire horse comes, they're ready to bless you. But you've got to step into the energy so that spirit can bless you. All right, you guys, I'll see you next time. Blessed be. Oh, love you. Bye. Welcome to the How to Love Yourself Oracle. Oh man, I'm not going to lie. This is technically my 5th reading because I did like a little group reading at the beginning, just like a little preface. These have been super, and I mean, it's been an hour and 29 minutes, and I'm not kidding you. I've done readings that were like hours long that did not feel like these have been super intense. So I just want you to know that if you're feeling a little fragile right now, you may want to come back in a little while. If you're drawn to any other readings, go ahead and feel free to check them out. But some of these are really, really intense. I haven't even gone into yours yet, so I'm not trying to start it with doom and gloom. I'm just letting you know that, like, I was trying to change my energy, and I got the vibe that no matter what I did, the energy wasn't going to change. So I'm just going to leave it here, okay, in terms of, like, saying it like that. Also, I don't know how much room I have on my phone, so hopefully we will stay on this. If for some reason it breaks off, I will put a link underneath your timestamp, so it'll take you to that. Because sometimes in these readings, when that happens, it could just be that, like, maybe it's broken up for this, you know, only these people only need these messages and these people need these messages. So this says, the moment I start to change, the moment I am willing to bring good into my life, the universe responds in kind. And that's what all of these readings have been about, is people being stuck in the past. I wanted to do like love relationship readings because, you know, of the Captain Obvious, you know, happy Valentine's Day, happy love day. But then when they told me it was going to be like a love yourself thing, I got really excited about it because I was like, this deck is very inspiring. So I was like, oh, it's going to be good. We're just going to be like, yay, I'm just going to get to be a cheerleader. Instead, it's like, I feel like I've been everybody's like mom, boss, like a significant other, like, you know, spirit. I got the bitch whip out. But no, these are real because there's no more waiting. In real time, we are 3 days away from going from the wood snake to the fire horse. And snakes are about rebirth, regeneration, and shedding our skin and letting it go. So this is it. Spirit is saying the way to your utopia, to your nirvana, is to love yourself. And in order to, this deck is how to love. It's like, okay, well, how do I love myself? They're like, this is how you love yourself. The moment you allow change, the moment you allow the good in, that's when the universe says, I got you. And they say, then say this. Your mantra is, I choose a bright future now. Not next week, not next month, not next year, now. Also, if you are drawn to reading 3, I highly suggest you check it out. But some of these were like, they weren't easy. I had to say in at least 2 of the readings, I'm sorry if I'm being a dick, or I'm trying not to be a dick. Like, so it's the same for you guys. Like, you know that when spirit has me go, kind of feels like rogue, right? Because it's not a comfortable energy for me. You know, I really do strive every day to be in a happy, joyful place because I have to, because the world is not a happy, joyful place on the surface. But if we look at the surface and don't look at what's underneath, then it's easy for us to not see the bright future. So Spirit wants you are a beacon of light. It is your job on the planet to work as a beacon of light for all. But in order for you to do that, they don't want you to fake it anymore. I feel like you guys, like, you may be those people who are like, oh, everything's great. No, I'm fine. Oh, I'm fine. Everything's good. I'm good. You know, yeah, I'm good. But then, like, the second everybody leaves, you're like, okay, bye. Oh, thanks for coming. Bye-bye. And then you're like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you're like those people. I'm going to take a screenshot. And Spirit's like, but you're not. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. Also, 2 cards flew out. So let's start with the first one. And it says, I claim abundance for myself right here and right now. I deserve to be prosperous. I deserve my good. That's what I'm saying. Like, you guys, actually, you know what? This is a great way to end, because the first reading was really heavy and long and it felt like it was never going to end. And this one is like, it started out as like a heavy energy, but I feel like they're like, you're out of the woods, you're out of the... And usually my last readings are more of like my people who are really, really working on their stuff. So Spirit's saying, you have to claim it though. You have to believe that the abundance is there. I've been putting Post-its around. I do the I am mantras every day. I'm like, I'm a millionaire. I'm a beautiful soul. I am magic. I am royalty. I am amazing. I am kind. I am loving. I am prosperous. I am abundant. I deserve my good. I am good. Right? I am joy. You have to claim it. The universe will literally just respond back to you. The whole universe is a mirror. If we're mirrors here, of course the universe is a mirror too, right? So on the back of this, it says, I have abundance in all areas of my life. You can even say, I am abundance. You know, I have abundance in all areas of my life. That's why your future is so bright. The next one says, we create habits and problems to fulfill a need. I saw this one fall on the floor when I first started shuffling at the beginning, but now I feel like this is, I don't know if this came up in the other readings, but this is a really powerful one. Sorry about that. It's really nice out here today. And we're about to get like this big snowstorm, so I think people are like trying to enjoy the weather. Okay, so it says, we create habits and problems to fulfill a need. So if you have problems or you're like in a cycle of bad habits, it's like you're staying in the bad habit. You're staying in that cycle. You're telling yourself that you don't have enough, and so you don't have enough. When I can find a positive way to fulfill the need, I can release the problem. And I feel like this is what's happening with you guys. It says, I release all feelings of negativity and guilt. There's something going on with some past life stuff. Whenever you watch this, they're always going to be timeless. But in real time, we are just a few days away from the new moon in Aquarius and the solar eclipse and like all these. And that's all about the shadow and change and transformation and new beginnings. And, you know, like I saw recently, this astrologer was like, this isn't the new moon that you like set your intentions on. This is the new moon that you release and let go of all of the past shit so that you can really, like, we can go through this cycle. Because the day after that is the Pisces, you know, so we're going to have the new moon in Aquarius, but then it's the Pisces is right after that. And to have those on top of each other is going to be some intense shit. So it makes sense that the first month of the fire horse is going to be intense for us, right? Because we're going through a new moon cycle and a new lunar new year. I mean, those things all happening, it's like there's no mistakes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's some serious shit when that stuff happens. Like, so Spirit wants you to release and let go. And I'm hearing for some of you, it's time to write them down. You want to do a new moon intention? Instead of doing an intention, do a new moon release and write down all the feelings of negativity and guilt that you have for yourself, for others, so that you can let it go, because that's what's holding you back. Like, that's literally what I'm hearing is like, that's what's holding you back from your abundance. Your bright future is, it's here, but it's like you're looking at it now, but you're not like living in the now, right? So this says, we create habits. I feel like for some of you, like you're purposely not, yesterday I had a bad habit that I've been trying to kick. And then I realized, I know exactly what they're saying about this because I had the same thing. I had a moment where I recognized it and I was like, oh yeah, well, I'm going to lie to myself and say this or that, because if I do this, then I'm going to have to stop. So it's really about the honesty that we have with ourselves, you know, and everything around you, from your home, like everything is reflecting back to you. Any lack you have, any, you know, issues and situations, it's like Spirit's like, that's you mirroring back yourself to you. Do you hear what I'm saying? Also, oh, look at this. I measure my success by how much fun I'm having. You need to lighten up. Have a good time. You know, think about this. When you're having a good time, think of that elation energy that comes in. That's the energy the universe loves. So they're going to like give you more of that. So when you have that good elation energy, be like, more of that. Ooh, throat chakra. See, you guys have a hard time asking for that. Oh, that's what I'm hearing. You have a hard time asking for help. Listen, your angels can't help you unless you ask them to, even if you are an earth angel. You know, I mean, some of us, I'll be honest, I'm not going to lie. We don't have the type of free will that the muggles have, you know, because we're here to do certain things, but we also have our own paths here as human beings. So you're okay. You know what I mean? But also, this comes from the miracles now. I only have so many of them, so I threw them in with this deck because they fit perfectly in there and they were getting destroyed. So Spirit's saying, like, you choose a bright future, abundance, miracles now. Like, all of this is waiting for you, right? I measure my success by how much fun I'm having. All of this, I choose a bright future. I have abundance. They wanted me to put this here so you could take a screenshot of it because this is what they want you to see. This is your life. You have a bright future filled with tons of abundance in all areas of your life because you believe in miracles. You believe in magic. And you keep saying that to yourself. I have faith in you, Spirit. I believe in you, Spirit. I know that the divine timing is real, right? Everybody has their own divine timing. You know, we spoke about this, I think, in reading 3 about coveting other people's energy or comparing ourselves or being jealous. It's like, no, each one of us has our own path. So if somebody is getting there before you, you don't know what they did to get there. So think of it in a positive way, like, oh, wow, that's cool. I'm going to have that too one day. I know when my time is right, it'll come up. But the more you stay in the high vibration, the more things will come. And I'm telling you as living proof, It has been happening to me. And I even said this to my partner yesterday because I'm like, dude, have you noticed that for like a few months now, like it basically since the 12/12 portal, I feel like it might have even been the 11/11 portal, things started to like, it was after that last eclipse season, things started to shift. And then all of a sudden I started to notice that, like, you know, even when I got to a point where it was like, okay, we were a little low on funds, you know, we work for ourselves. I was like, dude, should we go to the food bank? We were going to go to the food bank the next day and like, bam, we made money. Like one of you guys like gifted me money and I was like, oh my gosh, we can go get groceries. I'm like, awesome. You know, it's like, because I was like, I know we're okay. I know we're okay. I know that if we have to, we'll go to a food bank, but if not, like, we're going to be okay. And ever since I keep giving it that energy, all of these blessings have been coming into my life, like one on top of the other, on top of the other, on top of the other. Once I stopped trying to plan my life, once I stopped trying to, you know, because I was planning from an old energy and I was planning from more of like fear and like, I need, you know, okay, in the third dimensional reality, I have to have this and I have to have that and I have to have a job and I have to put gas in my car and I have, you know, but it's like, don't think about those things. Just go from day to day because you choose your bright future now. Otherwise, now wouldn't be on that card. It would just say, I choose a bright future. But they're saying now. You get to choose. You get to choose what your life is. I'm so glad we're ending like this. I feel like Kristen Dunstan in Drop Dead Gorgeous when they tell her she has to like put all the states in order or whatever, and she's like, what? They're asking her questions. The pageant panel was like, and then they show like 5 minutes later, she's like, Wyoming, It's like, that's how I feel like. Kind of feel like this started out really like high vibration and whatever, and then I feel like we kind of went to the drudger of it, but that's okay. Because that's what we need to do. We have to look at it. We have to face it. And now it's like, you know, you're out of the woods, you're out of the blood, you're out of the darkness, you're into the light, right? So believe in miracles. Believe that your future is bright. But right now, you are working on what is happening now so that the future will be bright. But keep telling yourself, I am abundant. I am a miracle. I am magic. I am a blessing. It is literally your God, goddess, creator given right to be a happy, joyful person. You don't have to stay in an energy field that doesn't feel like yours. So now that you took that, I feel like I want to turn these over and we can do a screenshot of this. So all of my information is in the description box if you guys want to work with me or if you want to contribute to anything on this channel. And remember that prayer is free. Always remember that prayer is free. It's about the exchange of energy, and me pulling these cards for you today and showing up. I'm like, right, we showed up for each other. Oh, I love this. It says, life is very simple. I create my experiences by my thinking and feeling patterns. What I believe about myself and about life becomes true for me. Take a screenshot of that because that is the truth. We spoke about this in one of the other readings. They're like, life is pretty straightforward. It really is. life is simple, but humans make it complicated by greed and all these other things. I use my words and thoughts as tools to shape my future. I mean, you guys. Well, here, did you guys get a screenshot? Let me make sure did you guys get a screenshot of that? Okay, because like, what? Hello, you start with your bright future and you're ending with your bright future. I mean, come on. And have fun and lighten up. Lighten up. Lighten up. Literally, Spirit wants you to lighten up. Like they keep saying it over and over. Lighten up, lighten up, lighten up, lighten up, lighten up. Stop taking it so damn seriously. I know it's gross on the surface. You also have to remember, you guys, that like probably 50% of the things we see on television are not true. 50% of the things we see on newsstands aren't true. Think about that for a second. That's the discernment we need to, if you see a story and it's like, oh, this puppy was, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, they're doing everything in their power to distract us, to bring the vibration down. Because when we're sad, it lowers the vibration. And when the vibration is low, we're a lot easier. Holy shit, the cards just flew. We're a lot easier to manipulate when we're on a lower vibration. So Spirit's saying, you don't want to be manipulated. So when you're on a low vibration, you're allowing that manipulative energy in. And Spirit's saying all it takes is 1 second, one headline, one 15-second clip, one reel. Anything could change anything. And they're saying, nope, that's it. I kind of figured since we started with future and ending with future, but I thought I would try one more time. This one is sticking out though, so I will say this. If you were drawn to reading 3, whenever I compare myself to others, I simply say this prayer: the light I see in them is a reflection of my inner light, right? Take it as like when they say imitation is the strongest form of flattery. So don't compare yourself to others. If you're looking up to somebody and thinking that they're awesome, then that's just you telling you how awesome you are, because you're seeing their divinity and their light that's really your own. All right, reading 4. I hope these messages helped you in any way. Blessed love day. I love you so much. Spirit loves you too. And if you do watch the other readings, I'm just going to apologize in advance. And I'm sorry if they got a little heated and a little gruff, but it's really just, it's like that person who loves you so much and is just giving you the tough love. Sometimes we need it. If you surround yourself with yes people, you're never going to grow. You're never going to expand. You're never going to change. If you surround yourself with third dimensional people, you are never going to grow. You are never going to change. You're never going to expand. If they are going to stay there and they refuse to see their own light and their own divinity, it's time for you to go. All right, Spirit, do we have any more messages for reading 4? The last message is that if you didn't watch the group message at the beginning, that this message was love yourself, ... like heal the earth. So that's what this is all about. Spirit is getting harsh with us because Gaia needs us. It's kind of like when you're at war. It's like you can't candy coat. You're not like, it's like the guns are blazing and bombs are going off. The captain doesn't go up to his person and say, hey, can you go over there? And he's like, go over there, blah, blah, blah. Like you just have to like be in the moment. Yes, we would like it to be a little more nice and a little more candy coated. But right now, make no mistake, we are at war. We are in a spiritual war right now. But remember that this was all divine. This was always going to happen this way. Everything. So like, it's one of those things like, yes, it's always going to go into the 5th dimensional energy. Like that stuff is going to go away, but like, wouldn't we rather have it sooner than later? You know what I mean? So don't make the rest of us work so hard. It's time for you to work on you, and we believe in you. Now it's just time for you to believe in yourself. All right, you guys, we love you so much. All of my information is in the description box if you'd like to work with me or if you'd like to donate anything to this channel. Remember that prayer is free. It's all about the exchange of energy. And I really, really hope that my hope for you is that you remember your divinity and your light, because this bright future now is all about the moment you start changing, the moment you're willing to bring the good into your life. The universe wants to give it to you, but you've got to be willing to let go of the old things so that the new stuff can come in. Because look I use my words and thoughts as tools to shape my future.
We need it. You're part of our future. Don't, you know what I mean? Keep it simple. Keep it simple. All right, you guys. And take some of these screenshots. I feel like some of you could really use these to keep looking at while you're moving through this energy of the snake to the horse. All right. I love you. I'll see you next time. Blessed be. Oh, bye.